right, welcome everyone. We're just sharing the link, and then we'll be ready to go for the AMA. If you can just give us a thumbs up if the audio is working, that would be great.
Yep. I don't like that your chair is taller than mine.
This is highly unfair that I'm. There we go.
Oh,
we should make it at least appropriate. That there's a clear height difference. I don't know what you're talking about, Narcissus. Must be taller than you. Yeah, if anyone can give us just a quick thumbs up if audio working, that would be awesome. Hey, TOB number 2. Ant, welcome. Talked to you guys earlier. Good to talk to you again. Bilal, nice to see you. That was anyone give thumbs up for audio? Perfect. So we'll get started in a couple minutes. Perfect. Thanks, Bilal.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we'll talk over some of the kind of what's happening, where we're at, positives, some of the stuff that's in potential right now, challenges that we're facing and how we're addressing them, a bunch of questions to answer, quick recap of what we've done so far, and where the focus continues to be at moving forward. So we'll give it just one more minute and then get started. All right, Catherine, who couldn't make it, also confirm that the audio is working. So appreciate everyone providing their comments.
Yep, love the audio checks.
Yeah, you're usually on it, Narcissus, but with the audio check, but you're here.
I'm in it this time.
Yeah.
Was it the one time it didn't work because it was connected to your headphones?
That was one of I think we've had in the history of the AMAs. I think there's been three F-ups. There's been the Angelo Wi-Fi at the hotel.
Yeah,
couldn't happen.
I remember that.
There's been internet here once, and then audio continued to connect to, kept switching back to the headphones.
Yeah.
And that one got sorted, but yeah.
Overall, the record's pretty good though.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, well we'll get started. Welcome everyone. So you want to kick it off?
I'll jump in here. So there's been a lot of questions around where the team's headed, where the project's headed, what we're up to. So just thought we'd kind of go over a few positives here to start off the AMA. Positive number 1, tech working, no issues, everything in terms of the adbank platform and Blade running great. So everything good on that end. We currently have paid advertisers as well as some affiliates on Blade and on the adbank network, which I'm dealing with mostly. So that's a great sign. Having banners on there that are from actual real advertisers, paid ones. That's always great for Blade and for the traffic. And the third one is our user base is increasing daily, pretty consistently as well. Seeing a few spikes here and there. But yeah, pretty consistent user base increase every day, and we're seeing that trend, continue to go up. So, a lot of good things to take away for Blade in the last month.
Yeah. So please drop in your questions. We've got a bunch of questions to get to, but just place them in, and we'll kind of get through the update, and then make sure we come back to answer all questions. So go ahead and drop in questions whenever you want to. So in terms of kind of potential / challenges, so the two biggest challenges that we're facing right now is the CPM value. So how much money that an advertiser will pay for the impressions that are shown on Blade is lower than we want. That the impact to somebody using Blade is that they're seeing an ad and the impression that they're being paid to see isn't high enough for them to get enough ADB. And so our solution to that right now that we're working on is a couple things. One, get the base up in terms of the total size of the install base so that we can go to more advertisers that are interested. And we will also then have, we're working in talks with a project that will create some interesting targeting opportunities that will really drive up the CPM. So that's what's in the works right now. And then the second problem we're facing is both the install base, although it's increasing, and the community size in terms of like kind of call it the crypto community to really drive this into the consciousness of the crypto world is not, our install base is growing, but it's too slow, and our community size is staying flat. And so how do we go about addressing both of those issues with kind of one big efficient swing of the bat? And we've got some discussions that are deep underway right now that will become hopefully we'll have some signatures on some paperwork and can share some more details in a matter of weeks, not months. So that's kind of an exciting, probably the most exciting update that we've had since the announcement of Blade would be that one coming along. So it's quite exciting. Let's talk. So we talked. Okay. So questions to answer. Why don't we jump to a bunch of these questions? So appreciate the question and we'll try and get to them all. So
we got first one here from Gufander. When will it be possible to install a second extension from the Firefox store? So I'm assuming you're talking about the replacer extension. Yeah.
So working on it. We wanted to start with a conservative approach with Firefox after the Chrome kickout issues of making sure we had the system in place for side loading and not having it get kicked out. Still a plan for Firefox to get the replacer in.
Bilal, what happened to the marketing drive? There was quite a big budget that was assigned a little while back.
Yeah, so we've seen some of them come through. Coverage in Forbes. Forbes is not covering very many projects right now, and we got covered for the second time in Forbes. That was a big one. And then we've got some others that are called like that are still out to come through.
Mm-hmm. I think Fander asked, mobile installation was pretty easy before on the Yandex browser, but now it's a little more difficult with the replacer. And unfortunately, our focus was Chrome and Firefox on desktop, and so that's where our focus is, and I think that's where it'll be for the time being.
Yeah, and then the staking question. So I know I answered in Telegram earlier. The thought process there is what we want to be able to do is so it's essentially a staking mechanism, but proportional reward. So the more ADB that you have in your wallet, the larger percent of the rewards that you will receive from seeing a Blade ad. So if you were to get, call it 1 ADB, if you've got 10 ADB in your wallet, you'll get 1.1. If you got 0 ADB in your wallet, then you get 0.9 for seeing that ad. So that's like a super simplified way of explaining it. The concern that we have is where that pushes us on the sort of security or not a security discussion. And so right now we are holding on that to push for adoption of, and that was always kind of it communicated when we rolled out the roadmap that this was sort of consider in Q4. We're still planning to consider it, but right now that is not stopping us from achieving success. What's stopping us from achieving the success that we all want is the installs.
Mm-hmm. And then, Vander, it seems like you're just asking about a few comments and some questions here, but mainly talking about, ensuring that, as we get new users, we need to also get new advertisers. And so that's definitely been, pretty much the primary focus here outside of, some tech stuff. But we've mentioned it before. I think John talked about it on an AMA previously, but, there's a pretty fine balance between advertisers and users. If you have one of too many, the teeter-totter is going to tip over to one side. So growing them both consistently, which we've been working on, getting new advertisers in, which we currently have one running right now, as well as growing the user base, both at kind of a consistent pace is important. And not just a consistent pace, but at almost like an equal pace because, you know, on the advertiser end, they obviously want impressions, conversions, clicks, quality traffic. And on the user end, you want to be able to see as many ads as possible, and kind of and you know, high quality ads as well. So yeah, it's definitely something that I would say is the majority of our focus.
Yeah, I think to Nurse's point, the balancing those two. But what we're seeing is the advertisers, although those discussions are happening, aren't coming on board until there's enough of a volume of impressions, and so we need to push our way to a high enough impression volume in order to be able to get on the type of advertisers that we want. So it's kind of got to balance both sides, but sometimes we also need to try and sort of leap over those chasms to get to the point where the critical mass exists to get those impressions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, good point. Okay, and then other questions to answer. How many clients? So we have the dashboard that shows number of installs, and then you can see the advertisers and the performance campaigns that are running. I think hopefully that answers. So the question was how much clients do you have? How many team members do we have left? So the team stays up to date on the website, and we communicate that consistently. So we've got the core development team still in place, with the Axon development group being led by Connor, Narcissus running the by Connor with Tyler helping on the UX UI, and then Narcissus running operations, and Catherine running marketing. Okay, so how much cash? How long can your team last? So kind of same question. We don't talk obviously sort of direct exact numbers, but since the sort of the largest change happened about a year ago in terms of like when those team changes occurred, we've been pretty consistent with saying like that's all been part of the plan and continuing to be rolled out. The model at that point was to 2021. The model still pushes into 2021. The revenue from Blade is below what we were expecting. So we were targeting a higher revenue numbers at this stage from Blade, and that is in large part due to the kind of, they call it the 2-month delay. With myself or Narcissus?
Which one?
So it's we're a little delayed from where we wanted to be from a revenue standpoint on Blade. Currently focusing on, so I think hopefully that was answered, but it's users and advertisers of Blade while not neglecting the community. So there's like what is taking up most of our time right now, and I'd say kind of call it my time, Nurse's time. A large piece of that right now is this sort of called the big swing that we have in front of us. If we can get that pulled off, and that makes things a significant difference for us in the future. And we've got a couple of those discussions underway. So that's really the core focus. We'll talk about it as soon as we can. Mm-hmm. And question: does it seem to be getting easier to get adbank goals accomplished, or is it getting more difficult? I think whenever you set annual goals, the first quarter's goals are always the easiest because you have the most information. And so right now we have some goals that we still have from Q4 2018 that are out of touch with reality. So some are easier. So some of these opportunities that are in front of us in terms of user acquisition are easier. We're getting, and some of the deal around the CPM, addressing the CPM problem, those are easier because we're kind of continuing to focus down one path. Some of the tertiary goals are definitely getting harder because they're just more disconnected from what the time when we made those goals.
Did we miss any questions there?
Nurses, are you all right?
I mean, I'm a little tired, but
thanks, Ant. So how will these discussions help ADB longer term? If all goes well, significant increase in user count quickly, both to the community and the install base, and then a kind of followed up with that. Great, we now have all these users. How do we get money for everyone? Get ADB. And that the solution to that is the second discussion. So bunch more users, bunch more awareness in crypto, the token ecosystem running at a much higher velocity, and the number of people that are holding ADBs goes up significantly, and the value that you get for every ad that you see would go up as well. Any news on staking? Hopefully address the staking bit. It's not staking, but it's proportional rewards. And right now the roadmap is to consider that in Q4. Still plan to consider it, but no, and the advertisers up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ant, I know you know a little more than I can share at this stage. So yeah, I know you want me to share more, but I can't. Yeah.
Thanks for the comment, Ann.
Yeah, I think that the sort of a general comment, kind of relative to other projects that I know are in similar situations from sort of like community sentiment standpoint is, we have lots of irons in the fire to continue to we're still heavily focused in the fight in terms of pushing this forward. And I think hopefully the pace of tech releases, coverage in Forbes 2 weeks ago, the discussions that are underway right now that will be able to be released in weeks. I'm hoping that is demonstrating that we're absolutely still in this fight, pushing as hard as we've ever have. Yeah,
and just on top of that point, it's not just about. I feel like there's a lot of sentiment in the community about staying relevant, but it's not just about staying relevant. Everything we do, that's a piece of kind of the ultimate goal, which is to see adbank and Blade be successful. So everything we do, there's immediate goals, but then we're always looking ahead, long-term stuff to make sure you guys, the users on Blade, are getting rewarded properly and enjoying the experience. And on the other end, advertisers are being onboarded and enjoying their experience on Blade.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Any other questions? We'll give another minute if anyone's typing it.
The one about the dashboard. When is the dashboard going to be done showing the revenue coming in?
Yeah. So this we're always balancing what we can share and can't share. So we will be. The answer is we don't know on that one. We want to continue to sort of set the bar in terms of transparency, and I think we've hopefully been consistently doing that. We will the dashboard that we currently have. We will continue to add to as we feel we can, and so we've got the user case, the user install now, and want to continue to be as transparent as we have been, and really try and keep setting the bar for that level of transparency.
Yeah, there's a big difference between being transparent with you guys and then also certain privacy standards that we have to keep up with the advertisers and publishers we work with. Did we miss anything?
No, I don't think so. No. Okay, awesome. All right, I appreciate the questions. Always good to interact with the community, and helps us know what you guys are talking about and interested to know more about, and we'll be good. Mm-hmm. Are you confident that adbank will be self-sufficient before the funds run out? Yeah. Infinite runway, is what we're calling it. Not break even, because that means the goal is not profit. The goal is infinite runway, and then reinvesting as much as we can in sort of the growth. And the sort of turning point for that is not out of reach right now. So we have the operations from eSig. We have some of the revenue generation that's happening within Blade, and we will. It's very, very, very unlikely that we will get in a situation where we do not achieve infinite runway. Ultimate success that we're reaching for, that's still, we got some work to do to achieve that. I won't say that's in the bag, but the ability to be relevant over the long term and stay in this fight, unlike I would say most crypto projects where there is no, it's just pile of money, and all they can vary is the degree that they're burning. We have a incentive aligned mechanism to achieve infinite runway, and I think that's that's unique, and I'm really glad we do because it's much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Updates on AI. So same status as before. Patent submitted. It's ready to go. Built, tested, patent submitted, ready to be deployed on AWS, but not yet deployed. Not enough meat for it to chew on. All right,
Okay.
awesome. I like the hashtag TOB.
What was it?
Stay in the fight.
Nice. I like it.
Cool. Great questions today.
Yeah.
One of the best questions AMA, and definitely appreciate the. I like the self-sufficient before funds run out, because I do think that is a key question that is not being asked. It's how long is the runway versus the runway doesn't matter if there's nothing that's going to change the you intersecting zero.
Yeah. Then
it doesn't matter if it's 1 year, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think great question.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thanks.